This is the 1914 Dresden Ohio Chain Bridge. I'm Darren, and this is the Industrial Revolution. Now, if you recognize the name Dresden, Ohio, there's a good reason for that. Just downriver, actually on the other side of the park that I'm at one end of here, is the Triple Lock, which I did a video on over the summer. And as I was leaving that park, I saw this bridge. Well, I knew nothing about it at the time, but it looked really cool. Put it on my list of places to come back and visit later. And today's the day. This isn't the first bridge built here in Dresden, Ohio. Businesses in Dresden actually began to increase around 1841 when the canal was built between the Ohio and Erie Canal down to the Muskingum River. With more traffic in town, in 1853, a large wire cable suspension bridge was built here. The bridge was built privately using private funds, and tolls were charged to use the bridge. But eventually local residents realized just how useful it was to have a bridge here in town. So in 1864, they purchased the bridge, making it free. The crossing here has been free ever since. The bridge served the community well until 1913. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know what happened. The Great Flood of 1913, which wiped out the nearby canal and, well, just about every canal in this part of the country, also washed out the suspension bridge. The community began to rebuild quickly, and the new bridge here was built the next year in 1914. Instead of building a standard wire cable suspension bridge, the new bridge was built as a chain bridge instead. The first chain suspension bridge, with all the elements that we recognize in a modern suspension bridge, was built by James Findlay of Pennsylvania in 1801. It used standard chains with oval links instead of the cables we're more familiar with today. The first modern suspension bridge using wire cables was, somewhat ironically actually, a pedestrian bridge which was quickly erected in 1816 after one of Findlay's old-style chain bridges collapsed. These oval-link chain bridges didn't do so great. Still, larger wire cable suspension bridges couldn't be built until the process of spinning bridge cables in place was invented in the 1840s. That led the UK's Samuel Brown to build the Union Chain Bridge in 1820 using flat iron plates called I-bars. That's I-bar, as in EYE-bar, named for the two holes at the ends of the flat iron plates or bars. The 1914 Dresden Chain Bridge here was designed by Clyde Tucker Morris of Bell Fountain Bridge and Steel Company. It has two towers or pylons with a main suspended span, a second suspended side span, and a third unsuspended side span. The towers, and the whole bridge in fact, were built much taller than the original 1853 bridge. High enough, in fact, that a repeat of the 1913 flood would leave it undamaged. The total length is 705 feet or 205 meters. The main span is 443 feet or 135 meters. It's built using a now rare I-bar structure. A common design in the UK in the 19th and early 20th century, I-bar chain bridges were always rare in the US, with Roebling's cable suspension bridges being far more common here. The I-bars are clustered together into what's called bundles to provide redundancy. The more I-bars you have parallel to each other in a bundle, the more redundancy you have. How much redundancy do you have? Well, if you break an I-bar here and there, you really have no problem at all, and it's fairly simple to replace individual links as needed. The bundles of I-bars are bolted together, and those form the catenary, which in a cable-type suspension bridge would be made up of the main suspension cables. Dropping from the catenary, vertical suspenders made of rigid metal rods, tensioned with turnbuckles, connect down to the steel deck trusses, which then support the bridge deck. Even in the world of chain bridges, the Dresden Chain Bridge is unique. The west end has a traditional anchor with the chain set into the massive block of concrete in the bridge abutment to anchor the load. On the east end, however, there's not enough room due to Ohio Route 666, which follows along the river's edge. This forced the builders to run the east catenary directly over the top of the road and anchored into a massive concrete block on the far side. As we walk around this concrete block, you can see that it's starting to show its age, with some concerning looking cracks. This unusual structure also means that the east span isn't actually suspended at all, and is just a standard pony truss bridge design, connecting from the pylon directly over to the east bridge abutment. In the late 80s, the Dresden Chain Bridge was deemed to be unsafe by the Ohio Department of Transportation. And in 1988, it was closed down and the new bridge built parallel to it. Public outcry at that time is the only thing that saved it from being destroyed. It's one of the last bridges of this type in the US. It's the oldest structurally intact bridge of its type in the US. So it's very important that it stays. And in 1988, the public was successful. Unfortunately, in 2022, the Ohio Department of Transportation declared it's time for the bridge to go. Public outcry again, attempted to keep it up, and so far, here in December 2025, it's still here, but 6 months ago, the plan was still to destroy this bridge. The cost to demolish it completely is about $1 to $2 million. The cost to fix it structurally to the point that can handle pedestrian traffic, just pedestrian traffic, is around $3.5 to $6 million. And right now, no one's willing to put the money up for it to save it. They have had problems. You see the gates here at the entrances on both ends. However, that's not stopped people from crossing it. There's holes in the decks, as you saw the holes from underneath. So it's really not safe to walk out there at all. People still do it. So they could try to enhance that. But even if they could get people to not walk on it, there's a road that goes under it on the Dresden side of the river. And because of that, they're concerned that any falling pieces will fall onto that road and into the park and could potentially cause injuries or death. So as of now, December 2025, the plan is, before long, this bridge will be coming down. So if you find yourself in Southeast Ohio, be sure to stop by Dresden, check this out. Check out the triple locks that are literally only a few hundred meters downriver. And as you check these out, remember that the bridge, the locks, Dresden itself, these are the Industrial Revolution. Hey, just real quick before you go, if you could help me out, like, subscribe, share this video, hit notify so you know when new stuff comes out, that'd be great. Also, if you could help out financially, even better, patreon.com/Industrial Revolution, or click on the shop link here in the video or channel description, go out to my affiliate store. Anything you put in your cart, the channel gets a percentage, helps cover all my travel costs, so I can keep coming out here on location to make these videos for you. Thanks a lot, I'll see you next week.